Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. How's everybody doing today? I hope you've all had a wonderful Friday. I certainly have. My lovely lady and I have been getting a bit more organized. We've been taking care of some other things behind the scenes. And I'm in a fantastic mood today. I'm in a very good mood, in a very, very positive mood. I'm back at Redmorton Park because the sun's about to set in less than 10 minutes. So we're probably only going to do a couple laps here today. That should be enough time to discuss this very important topic of episode number 849 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition. And today we're going to be discussing how difficult is it to find inner peace within yourself? How difficult is it to find inner peace within yourself? We're going to wait for some more people to pop on in. And this will be a great show for people to listen to on the replay. Because I know in life, especially in my younger days, I really used to struggle to find inner peace within myself. And, nowadays, at 50 years old, I don't have as much of a problem with it, but sometimes even the best of us are going to relapse when it comes to finding inner peace and keeping inner peace within yourself. And, truly having inner peace within yourself, I mean, you could look at it as having self-love, self-respect, right? Knowing what your self-worth is, right? That all compiles to having inner peace. You must have all of those aspects to have inner peace. And if you are someone that's been struggling to accomplish something, or if you feel you haven't accomplished enough at, this point in your life, regardless of your age, some people feel that by a certain age, you should have certain things accomplished. And in my opinion, to a certain extent, that is somewhat true. But at the same time, it's also going to vary on the individual. Different people reach different levels of success at different times. For some people, it takes longer than others. And that's okay, because in order to reach any level of success regarding anything, you must first find inner peace within yourself. You have to have self-love, self-respect, self-appreciation, right? And again, like I said earlier, you must know your self-worth. If you don't know your self-worth, or feel like you're worthless, then what do you think is going to happen? I've said it before, I'll say it again. When you put out negativity into the universe, you're going to get negativity back because you're going to be attracting negativity, right? And do you really want or need negativity? No. So why put that type of energy out into the universe if that's not what you want coming back at you? Part of the problem is go ahead. I'm going to wait for these cars to pass. All right. I think we are clear now. Part of the problem is that people don't realize how they're coming off. And a lot of times people don't realize that when you're reacting or overreacting in any way, shape, or form, even if you feel it is justified, you're still putting out negative energy into the universe. That's why I do my best to live by the saying, kill them with kindness, right? What's the best way to handle every negative situation is to not react or overreact. When you overreact, you're basically telling other people that may be picking on you that they're getting to you, or you're putting onto the universe negative energy when you overreact. Now, there's a difference between standing up for yourself respectfully, professionally, and maturely, and overreacting. Standing up for yourself, there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a very good thing. Right? But after a certain amount of time, if you're standing up to yourself against certain things that your friends are doing that you may not like, or certain things your friends are saying or other people are saying that you don't like, at a certain point, you got to find that inner peace within yourself and just let all that go. You got to find that level of inner peace and just let all of that go. In my younger days, I really struggled to find inner peace within myself. And I really even struggled socially. A lot of people may not know this. I've kind of talked about this in different ways at times. I'm not ashamed to talk about it. But it just doesn't come up that often. But this would be the perfect time to put it out there and say, when I was younger, when I was in nursery school, in kindergarten, it was more like a daycare center as well in the school. Got a guy and his girlfriend walking super slow, which is, she's pregnant, that's why. So I'm going to wait for these people to pass before I can continue. So in kindergarten and nursery school slash kindergarten, I was under 5 years old, and hey Tia, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Great to see you here. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. In kindergarten, we would go on a lot of field trips, especially during the holiday season. Like, Halloween is right around the corner, and so we would go to the pumpkin patch. And our pumpkin patch is in a town called Half Moon Bay, California. It's a town that's about maybe 20 minutes away from where I live. You're welcome, Tia. And my mother has told me the stories about when, we would go on these field trips, with the class in nursery and kindergarten, nursery school and kindergarten. At like 3 or 4 years old, I was reading the freeway signs. Half Moon Bay West, 92 West, Half Moon Bay. And I was reading at an advanced level at a very young age. Hey, my online 365 evening Eli chat, welcome. Welcome to the channel, and thank you so much for continuing to be a channel member. There'll be more members-only content coming in the very near future, and definitely at the beginning of the new year. But thank you for your continued support. Don and I both greatly appreciate it. I had a great time in nursery school and kindergarten, but once, first grade came around, and my dad put my brother and I both in Catholic private school. Even though we're not Catholic, we're Greek Orthodox. There is no such thing as an Orthodox private school. So you go to Catholic private school, and it's the same God, same thing, right? Pretty much. But good to see you, my online 375, and then Tia corrects it to 365. Yeah, no problem, Tia. No problem. It's all good. It's all good. It's Friday, Tia. Anything goes, right? Oh, by the way, Tia, I sent you a couple of messages. You and Sandra Palacio, some really good messages. They're pretty long, so when you get a chance, if you want to listen to them and share your thoughts behind the scenes, that would be great. As always, I appreciate your support as well, and your friendship and your kindness to both Don and I and everyone else around here at the January Networking Association, or GNA for short. Now I'm coming across the bad reception area, so hopefully this doesn't cut me off. But yeah, like I was saying, when you're younger, you don't even know what inner peace is. When you're 3, 4 years old, you don't know what inner peace is. Yep, I listen. I'll respond tomorrow. Thank you, Tia. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, Tia, pretty interesting stuff. That probably made a lot of sense, right? Just kind of curious to hear your sneak peek of a response. You don't have to go into detail here, obviously, but yeah. Go figure, right, Tia? It is what it is. Bruce Hornsby in the Range had a song called "That's Just the Way It Is. Some things will never change." Yeah. Yeah. I'm no Bruce Hornsby, but man, what a legend. That song had some of the best piano. Like, you don't really hear the piano or saxophone. You don't really hear a lot of instruments nowadays. It's all about electronic sound and auto tune. Everything's gone digital. They don't make them like they used to. Oldies but goodies, right? Yeah, it's all good. But anyway. Yeah, so, I unknowingly had inner peace in nursery school and kindergarten, but when I hit first grade, that's when things started to change. That's when things started to change. We've got kids running in the street here, and I don't even know where the parents are at. But yeah, things started to change when I hit first grade because I was at a Catholic private school. And I was kind of antisocial throughout my grammar school years. I was more of the shyer, introverted type of person. Even though I don't think I was born to be introverted or shy, I was at that point. And, that unknowingly at that point, because I was still too young to understand, was affecting my inner peace. Right? And I had a good upbringing. I had a very good upbringing. I had probably the best upbringing any kid could ever have. I feel very lucky and fortunate to have had a great father who passed away 14 years ago and to still have a great mother to this day. I'm very thankful and grateful. But even with that, sometimes, you can lose your soul and, not have inner peace. And I don't know why throughout my grammar school years and even, throughout my first couple of years in high school as a freshman and a sophomore, same thing was going on. I was more of a shyer, timid type of person. Unknowingly, I did not have inner peace. I can look back and know now I definitely did not have inner peace, right? And I was kind of antisocial. I didn't know how to socialize. I couldn't take a joke, right? I thought everyone was out to get me. And I didn't realize that sometimes even your closest friends are going to poke a little fun at you. And they're just doing that because they love you, right? At age 50, I clearly understand that when people poke fun at you, it's because they love you or love something about you, right? That's just how it is, right? Yo fam, how you doing? Welcome to the show. You know what? I'm going to just go around the neighborhood because there are people over there, lots of them, on a Friday night. Hey Tony, how you doing? Hey, how's the weather there? Good to see you. Good to see you too. Um, It was 70 degrees right when I got out of my car. So it's probably about 68 right now. It doesn't feel really cold, but not warm either. It's pleasant. It's a beautiful Friday evening here in the San Francisco Bay Area, especially for mid-October. Sounds perfect. Yeah, not too bad. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to be a little more humble nowadays, Tony. Not saying I haven't tried to be humble in the past, but I feel fortunate to live where I live, and we have good climate pretty much year round. Yeah, we do get some rain and some very hot days every now and then, and we get some rain every once in a while. you know, but yeah, the weather is just incredible out here. So it wasn't until my junior year in high school where I started to build a little more confidence. I started to work at a movie theater at age 15 and a half, and that was actually at the end of my freshman year. It was the summer after my freshman year ended, right before I was about to become a sophomore. I started working at a movie theater, and I was going to an all-boys Catholic private school, Sarah High School in San Mateo, California, which is the same city that YouTube was started in almost 20 years ago. Now YouTube is a little bit 20 minutes north of that in San Bruno, California, just south of San Francisco. But I was, looking to find a prom date, and I met my friend Brett that I've talked about many times on the channel. That we're no longer friends at this point, but I met my friend Brett at the movie theater. He had a girlfriend. Him and his girlfriend were a year older than me. They were one grade ahead of me, but his girlfriend had a friend in the same class as myself, the same grade as myself, and they set me up with her, and things worked out, and we dated for a while, and we went to each other's proms together. 2 of my proms, junior and senior, and 2 of her proms, junior and senior. And that's when things started to turn around. Give me a second, I'll be right back. All right, we are back live. So that's when things started to turn around. After graduating high school, and then as I entered my early to mid 20s, I was still struggling with inner peace at times. But by the time I hit my late 20s, early 30s, I started to truly, really understand things, and I found inner peace within myself. Not completely, but more than ever before. Because I started to experience so many things, and I started to realize that, hey, life isn't fair. Life isn't fair. And not everything's going to go your way. And most of the times, things are not going to go as expected. Does that mean you give up on yourself? Do you give up on life? Does that mean you should get upset and start whining and complaining that you're not moving the needle forward? No, because that's going to set you back further. But yeah, I was really fighting my inner peace in my early to mid, and even up until my late 20s and early 30s, I was really fighting my inner peace. And right at my late 20s, 29, 30, 31, I really started to turn things around. And then when I was about 34 or so, what was I, 34, 35, right around there is when I got my insurance licenses and started to sell insurance and started to network all over Northern California. And that's when I started the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short, which is where we're at here today on YouTube. What really made a big difference, the biggest difference, and I've shared this story many times, but I'm going to share it again because you can never share something too much that has changed many people's lives for the better, including myself. I'll tell you what changed my outlook on life and what truly helped me find inner peace within myself, right? Now, again, even the best of us struggle at times with inner peace. Sometimes people are going to jerk our chain and, they're going to push the envelope more than a reasonable amount. And sometimes we have our moments. But for the most part, I have found my inner peace at around 34 or 35 years old, because I remember when I started working for the insurance company I was selling insurance for. And there was a gentleman there that ran the commercial department. And I was brand new, and I wanted to learn more about commercial insurance. And I was working for Farmers for a year, and then I started working for this brokerage that had hundreds of carriers. And I needed to learn the system of how a broker works compared to, working for one single carrier. It's a big difference. You have multiple options to present to your clients. So I signed up for this commercial insurance class that was going to take place the following weekend. And I showed up, and there were a few other people that signed up for the class, and one of them was a gentleman from San Diego, California, that drove all the way up from San Diego to Redwood City, San Carlos area. The office was in San Carlos, right next to Redwood City. The company I was an in-house producer for also would, give me a second here, also had an affiliate program. They had an affiliate program where you could resell their products if you had your own insurance office, and then you service your own clients, and you get the majority of the commission. I was an in-house producer, so I had to give up some of my commission because I had an office of customer service representatives for personal and commercial lines that would help service and maintain my clients. And that was a fair trade-off because I just kept on selling. All I had to do was promote and sell. And yes, I did write policies, but when I was unavailable to write policies, I could just email the office the information, and they would do it for me and take care of the client. But this one guy who became an affiliate of the company I used to sell insurance for, I was, how old was I? I think it was like 35 at that point. He was like 26, 27. Really cool young guy. He married his longtime girlfriend and just had a baby. And for a young dude, he was really mature. And we kept in touch for a while. And he said, Elias, because people knew me as Elias professionally. Elias, have you heard of the movie The Secret? And I said, no, what is that? He's like, go look it up and, rent the movie. Watch the movie. Or buy the movie. Right? And watch it 5 to 10 times. I'm like, really, dude? I barely have time to watch it once. No, dude, watch it 5 to 10 times. It will change your life. Okay. Now I wanted to see what the big deal was about. So I got the movie. And I watched it the first time. And it was a bunch of famous authors, artists, and personal development public speakers, like Tony Robbins types of people, right? And they were all saying the same thing. They started to say, you are the secret. The secret is you, and how you see yourself is how everyone else is going to see you. And at first, the first time I saw it, I did not understand it. I was 35 years old. I'm watching this, and I'm like, what the hell is this shit? How you see yourself is how everyone else is going to see you. You are the secret. The secret is you. Like, you're telling me I'm the secret, but I need help to be more successful, to build my confidence more, right? To learn to love myself more. What does this mean? So I kept watching it and watching it and watching it. And I heard the same thing over and over and over again. And another content creator out here on YouTube that I've been following for almost 7 years, Coach Corey Wayne. He's a phenomenal life coach. He's always said, repetition is the mother of skill, right? Repetition is the mother of skill. And that's why this guy's name was Alan, good dude. That's why Alan was telling me, you got to watch The Secret like 5 to 10 times or more. Tia says, me too. I thought it was a bit cultish at first, LOL. Did you start watching it recently after you heard me talk about it, Tia, or had you watched The Secret in the past? I'm just curious to know. Because if you watched The Secret recently, based on my recommendation, that would really blow me away. Long time ago. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. So, I kept watching it, and I kept hearing, you are the secret. The secret is you, and how you see yourself is how everyone else and the rest of the world's going to see you. And I started to catch on. And I started to realize what they were saying. You see, many people think that there's some secret sauce or secret recipe to be successful, right? And some people try to sell you a pipe dream. Buy my package, right? Use my coaching services and buy my videos or my audiobooks or CDs back in those days or whatever, right? Or tapes back in those days, cassettes, right? If you folks even remember those things, right? And the truth of the matter is you are the secret, because if you don't have inner peace and you don't have self-love and self-respect, and if you don't have self-worth, you're never going to get anywhere. The secret is you, meaning that how you see yourself, if you have self-love, self-respect, right? If you know your self-worth, right? If you value who you are and you don't devalue yourself, and when I say all this, I mean with humility. You don't want to go out there and show off and say that you're the greatest thing in the world or the greatest thing since sliced bread. But you want to value yourself in a humble way. Because if you don't, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to fail. You're not going to move the needle forward. You're going to be stuck, right? And the truth of the matter is, I used to be stuck. I used to hate myself. I used to not have self-love. And I used to feel I was worthless. This was in my younger days. This was in my grammar school days and first couple years in my high school years. And then I still struggled with my self-worth throughout my 20s, but by the time I hit my late 20s and early 30s, I started to realize my self-worth. And then after watching The Secret about 10 times at age 35, recommended by my insurance buddy, Alan, that I met at the company we were both working for, I finally figured out what my self-worth is. The movie The Secret seriously changed my life. Had I not been recommended that movie by that cool dude that I met in my mid-30s about 15 years ago, and he was like 8 years younger than me, right? And he was one of the millennials that is the exception to the rule. There's always an exception, right? That guy literally changed my life with his recommendation, his strong recommendation. And if it wasn't for me watching that movie and hearing it over and over and over again, right? I ended up watching The Secret like 40 or 50 times over that year. I was just hooked on it. It would motivate and inspire me to hear those words. As a matter of fact, I might watch The Secret sometime this week. That movie just really inspires me, even though it's like, I think it's almost 20 years old now. I don't know the type of person I would have been to this day. I don't know if I would have started my own networking organization. I don't know what I would have done had it not been for Alan and introducing me to The Secret back then. That's how much it changed my life. That's how much it boosted my confidence. It boosted my self-worth because I started to realize what the problem really is. The problem is not the other people. The problem is me. I was the problem. And every single person that doesn't have self-love or self-worth, it's because it's your problem. It's because of how you see yourself. And you're seeing yourself as worthless. You're seeing yourself as not good enough. Maybe you're comparing yourself to other people that are further ahead. And it's making you feel worse about yourself when instead you shouldn't compare yourself to other people. You should focus on bettering yourself in the ways you want to better yourselves regarding what you want to accomplish. There's no need to compare yourself to others. There's no need to feel that just because someone became very successful quicker than you, that doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. It just means your time hasn't come yet. And that's what I had to realize. What I had to learn to realize is that all good things come in due time. And you got to have patience and perseverance. And you got to learn how to deal with life in general. You got to get to a level of inner peace, no matter what. And you got to do your best to stay there each and every day, no matter how many challenges you encounter. Because the world's going to throw you a shit ton of challenges every day. Could be from your spouse, another family member, a friend, a coworker, right? It could be anyone. Then we're dealing with government agencies. We've got taxes. We've got, DMV registration renewals, license renewals. We got property taxes. Like, we've got so many things to deal with. Any particular thing on any given day can get you to the point of where you don't have inner peace. Oh, good, you're back. What do you mean I'm back? I don't think the app never told me I went offline. Tia, did I go offline at all? What happened, Tawny? Let me know, please. Did it cut you off for a second? Tia, have you been cut off at all? I ask more than one person because sometimes the YouTube servers in each area are different. So it was Tawny's server in her area. The stream ended for you? That's impossible. That must have been a YouTube error with the YouTube servers in your area. Tia, the stream never ended for you. You said no, right? So it's all good, right? Never ended, Tawny. It looks like it's still on the same stream because I can see my comment above. It's been glitchy for me lately. Tawny, where are you from if it's not too personal? You don't have to tell us exactly, like, what state are you? Are you in the U.S.? And what state are you in? Or are you in a different country? Just kind of wondering. I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area. Hello, Eli. Beautiful evening here in the Bay. Wicked Lee, how are you doing? I'm in Arizona. Oh, okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, you just one state over. Well, one state over from the southern part of California, but yeah. Oh, let me show you what's going on over here. Let's turn on the light. Halloween Spooktacular. For ages 1 to 10 years, admission $10 per child. Parents free. Saturday, October 19th. 20. I won't be walking here on that day because it'll be. I got to tell you, I love the city of Redwood City. because I've lived here all my life, and we just have really great programs, and really great programs for kids and adults. And don't get me wrong, every city has its rough side of town, let's call it that, right? And we have that here too in Redwood City. Every city has it. But for the most part, Redwood City has been a blessing to grow up in and live in most of my life. I moved out of the area very briefly in my younger days, but not that far away. But I've also had other apartments here in Redwood City as well. So, it's just been incredible to live in this town. Anyway. Hi, Wicked Lee, says Tia. Wicked Lee says Pleasanton here. That's right, that's right. You're in Fountain Hill, says Townie. Awesome. Yeah, that's right. I remember you're in Pleasanton. You're right there off the 580, right before the Altamont Pass to go to Tracy. Yeah. I have lots of friends in the Central Valley area. I used to do a lot of networking over there in Tracy, Stockton, Modesto, even in Lodi. Lodi is the beginning of Sacramento County, though. Lodi, Elk Grove. Back in my 30s, my mid-30s through my early 40s, I drove over that Altamont Pass so many times and drove up and down I-5 and California Highway 99, up and down the Central Valley area, from Merced to Sacramento, and both ways. Turlock, I used to run an event out there in Turlock. And on the I-5 side of things, oh yeah, I know the area quite well. Yeah. And I knew some people in Pleasanton, Dublin, San Ramon. We ran an event at the Mimi's Cafe in Dublin, which I believe is closed now. I don't think it's there anymore. Mimi's Cafes had a free private room that they would let groups, like networking groups, use as long as we bought food. Fantastic. Tawny says, Northern California really has some beautiful areas. No, we do. We absolutely do. Some of the best hiking trails with the best views. Absolutely. Tawny says, what is Salinas like? I have a niece who is working there, and she's not really liking the culture. Yeah, Salinas, a lot of farmland out there. Actually, they have some companies out there that grow marijuana, now that it's legal in California. So they have a lot of those. It's a big agricultural type of town. With no disrespect intended, it has a very high Hispanic population. It's, how do I say it? There are some nice areas in Salinas, and then there are some rough areas too. Would I raise my kids if I had kids? Which I'm not going to have kids, but if I had kids, would I raise my kids in Salinas? No. There's your answer. Yeah, Salinas is, my girlfriend Dawn used to live in Hollister. And that's an hour and 15 minutes south east of where we live now in Redwood City, California. And from Hollister to Salinas, it's less than 30 minutes, like 25 minutes or so, going down Highway 101. Yeah, once you get out of the Hollister area, like when you go down 101 for like the next hour and a half or so, you're really looking at smaller towns. You're looking at agricultural towns. And you're looking at, you know, I'm not saying it's a bad area, but it's that strip of towns between Salinas and until you get down to like the San Luis Obispo area. Those are places probably I wouldn't raise kids if I had kids. So I hope that answers your question. That's what she said. Farms and gangs. Oh yeah, lots of gangs. Well, yeah, Orale homes, you know. There's a large Hispanic population there, and a lot of them are in gangs, and it's much more affordable to live in Salinas than it is to live out here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Now, from Salinas, you can take Highway 68, which takes you to the coast, right where Monteray is at. Now, that's a very expensive area. It's pretty much the same price to live in the Monterey Bay Area as the San Francisco Bay Area. So, there are nice areas. Like anywhere on the coast in California is going to cost you a fortune and is a pretty desirable place to live. Nah, I wouldn't want to live on the coast because the problem is you get lots of fog, and even when it's like 70 degrees here, it's like 58 to 60 degrees there because you're right by the Pacific Ocean. But when it's 100 degrees here and it's 85 to 90 there, or even 80 there, right? 20-degree difference. That's when you're like, shit, I wish I lived on the coast. Let's go to the coast for the day, right? And the coast has some great hiking trails up and down the entire California coast. So it's a great place to hike too. I've done many of the trails along Highway 1, California Highway 1, which is also known as the Pacific Coast Highway. They actually call it PCH in Southern California. We just call it Highway 1 up here, but it's the Pacific Coast Highway is what it is. I think she's actually in Monterey County. Yeah, okay. No, Monterey County is great. I can't remember what county Salinas is in. I think it's, is it called Salinas County? I can't remember. Somebody Google search what county Salinas is in. Salinas, comma, CA, California County. I don't know. It might be in Monterey County. I just can't remember. Can't remember what county Salinas is in. Who wants me to do a third lap today? If you want me to do a third lap, put a 1 in the chat. If I get 3 or 4 ones, I'll do a third lap. The lights are on. It's all good. I feel like getting a third lap in today, but I'll leave that in the hands of the audience. Monterey County. Okay, so Salinas is a part of Monterey County. Okay, yeah, because I know Highway 68 goes from Salinas to the coast of Monterey. That's great for you, Wicked. Property is usually always a good investment. My home was 300K in the 80s. I would be a millionaire if I sold. Of course you would. Yeah. Yeah, I remember my parents, the house that Don and I now share with my mother. We have the in-law unit. I'm sure you've heard the story before. My dad bought the shell of the house in 1980 for $250,000. Yeah, same situation. But you know what, wickedly, like no matter how much the house that Don and I, we share with my mother, no matter how high, the value goes, don't ever want to sell that house. We don't want to sell that house. That house is my dad's dream house. My dad had a dream of building his dream house and making it look as Greek as possible. And the inside of the house, there's Greek tile. My dad imported Greek tile. For the house. Now, most of the house has hardwood floor, but there are areas that have tile. And my dad wanted to do a lot more work on the outside, but it was just so expensive, and he cut a few corners. He knew the right people, and I mean, he did everything legit. It's just that he did not use, like the best quality stuff, like some of the wood and stuff on the house is starting to chip because it was painted and it wasn't sealed. It should have been stained and sealed, water sealed. So, those are some things that, between Don and I and my family, we're putting all our money together, and we're going to be repairing all that soon. But yeah, it's nice that was that a house that you purchased yourself, or did your family purchase it and you just took over the house and took over the payments and stuff, or is that a house that's been handed down in the family? I'm not trying to get too personal. I bought my parents' condo here in Arizona, Wicked, and not because it's such a wonderful place necessarily, but because I miss them. They have been gone over a decade now, so I love being here. I'll get to the rest of the comments in a second. That's actually a beautiful story. Tawny, that's actually a beautiful story. I'm going to do one more lap. It's all good. And that's the same way I feel about our family properties. They have sentimental value. It doesn't matter how many millions they end up being worth. It's like we don't plan on selling them. I mean, the sentimental value is priceless, right? And, talking with my mother and my brother, and they even reach out to me at times because they know we're all associated with the family homes. You know, we've had so many offers for all of the homes. You know, the home that we live in, I'm not saying this to show off, I'm just saying what it is. It's about $3.5 million right now. It's about $3.5 million, and we've been offered, you know, 3.5, 3.7 million. Very fair, more than fair market value. No sale. No. This is the house my dad built. That's sentimental value. It means something to my mother, myself, my brother, my aunt. A lot of the properties my family has, it's about sentimental value. And, you know, it's these types of, let me say this, ladies and gentlemen. It's these types of conversations and stories and these types of people that bring me inner peace. Good, decent, down-to-earth people that just want to have a nice, normal conversation, that just want to watch a relaxing, positive, uplifting stream and just have a nice conversation to start their weekend. And I really appreciate all of you being here. It means a lot. It really does. I agree, Eli. No drama says wickedly. You're right. Oh, wow, Eli. I like the blue and white traditional Greek tiles. Yeah, they're not cheap and they're hard to clean. I use the Bissell on them, and let me tell you, the Bissell even struggles to keep that white tile clean. Like, white is the worst color to have for tile because it shows a minuscule, small amount of dirt. It just appears. It's a pain in the ass to keep them clean. That's great for you, Wicked. Property is usually always a good investment, absolutely. Yeah, those homes in Monteray are multi-millions. They're 3 to 4 million, some even more. That's a great investment. I'm sitting on a 5-bedroom home. Kids are gone, says Wickedly. Yeah. Are you married, Wickedly? Is it you and your husband, or are you by yourself if it's not too personal? Me, no, we purchased in the 80s. Oh, okay, cool. Ah, Tawny says Wickedly. My sister-in-law has a home in Redwood Shores. The price for that home is unbelievable if she were to sell. Oh, yeah, Redwood Shores, 94065. Yeah, there are a couple of trails over there. The SF Bay Trail, San Francisco Bay Trail runs through there, and I've done those trails before. Redwood Shores, yeah. If you can believe it, many decades ago, that was all water, and now it's landfill. And they built homes there, and it's expensive. Well, Redwood Shores is an exclusive area. I'm sorry, Wickedly. Same here. I'm alone. My husband passed away. Yeah, sorry to hear that. Yeah, same for my mom. Dad passed away 14 years ago, and, you know, again, that's why the sentimental value of that home that Donna and I share with my mother, you know, it's a 3-story home. The sentimental value will always be greater than the actual home value. Like, to us, we don't give a shit about what the house is worth. I mean, of course, you want your house to be worth something, but, you know, that's Dad's home. That's the memory of Dad. And I have the utmost respect for my father because I used to challenge my dad. I used to treat my dad really bad. And not super bad, but I used to just not listen to him. I didn't want to hear what he had to say because I kind of realized that he was right and I just didn't want him to be right. And, I've shared the story before. 6 months before my father passed away, I came clean and I apologized to him for everything. He was right about everything. And that kind of set my soul free because had my dad gone to the grave with me not apologizing to him and respecting him in the ways he deserved to be respected, I'd be holding on to a tremendous amount of guilt right now. I don't know how I would have turned. I don't know how I would be. I don't know how I would have been. I don't know. I mean, it could have, even the smallest thing like that, folks, could turn someone down a dark path. It could cause you to drink. It could cause you to do anything, right? Just to try to get rid of the pain. But somebody was with me, and I felt tremendous guilt. So, I was at my apartment. I was thinking about it. I came to the house because I was still getting some mail at the house, even though I was living at an apartment during that time. And I just had to clear my soul with my dad. I get it, Eli. With nothing more said, I made peace with my father before he passed. Such a blessing. Listen, it'll fuck you up if you don't. And pardon my French. And I'll tell you honestly, even to this day, I still feel guilty, even though I came clean. I still feel like my dad never deserved that. And he never wanted to harm me in any way. All he wanted to do was protect his son and teach his son to be a good guy. And now, I'm 50 years old. I'm of age to understand all this. And I look back and I'm like, how the fuck could I treated my dad that way? At any age. Right? Like, why would I question what my dad was trying to do to protect me and to help me become a better man? And it's moments like these that allow you to reach inner peace, which is what we're talking about today. We're talking about inner peace. We've got an Amazon mobile over here. These Amazon mobiles, you know who makes them? I found out it's Rivian. That prissy electric car company. Rivian makes these electric Amazon vehicles for Amazon. So they're like top-notch vehicles, and they gotta be, because those things are driven to the ground. Like, I bet they have to change tires every few months on those cars, and brakes probably every 2 to 3 months. Like, those Amazon mobiles must get serviced frequently. With the amount of starting and stopping and city driving you do. That's why I stopped doing the DoorDash Uber thing. It was destroying my car. Years ago that was. I hope this doesn't sound trite, but I'm sure your dad forgives you, Eli. It's always complex when you lose a parent. Yeah, no, I'm sure he does too. But my level of respect for my dad at this point, and at that point when I came clean to him, but even now it's even much greater, and it grows greater every day. The more and more I get older and the more mature I become, the more and more I realize how much of a piece of shit I was to my dad, and he didn't deserve that, right? And that's the turning point for every human being to start to get the inner peace that everyone wants. You got to come to terms with things, and you got to accept responsibility and accept the consequences of your actions. And the one thing you should never turn your back on is family. But I've seen so many families turn their back on their own family members. And that's why when I see other families turn their back on their own family members, it really pisses me off. Family is family. You stick together no matter what happens, no matter what anyone does. It's crazy how much we realize how much they sacrifice and how they tried so hard as we get older, right? Wickedly, in my case, thank you, Tony. Wickedly, in my case, my father was a very difficult person. That's all I'll say. But I made peace with him. He apologized for things he did. I accepted, and we had a beautiful relationship his last years. That's good. Again, Eli, with nothing more said, I made peace with my father before he passed. Such a blessing. Yeah, we all regret. We all have regrets from our youth with our parents. At Tawny, NYC. Oh, wow, I would love a brownstone there. That's where I moved from New York City to Arizona. Oh, wow, you were in New York City. Wow. Oh, my God, that must have been astronomically expensive to live in New York City. That's like New York City and that New York metropolitan area is very similar in cost to the San Francisco Bay Area. It's like the coast to coast. But you got everything there. In New York City, you've got the Manhattan skyline. That's like one of the most beautiful skylines in the world. Like, you've got the Statue of Liberty. I mean, now if you can avoid going to downtown New York City, it's always crazy. But yeah, New York City's cool. But the surrounding area, I've never been there, but Dawn has been there, and she was actually born in New York, I believe in Brooklyn, and then came out here at Dawn, my girlfriend. And I've seen lots of pictures, and I have friends that live out there, and they post on their Facebook, and they tell me, we talk by phone at times, they tell me there's nothing like it. I have a love-hate relationship with New York City. Yeah, no, it's the same thing with the Bay Area. I have a love-hate relationship. Like, San Francisco is, San Francisco is a historic town, but I hate going there. Too much traffic and lots of just not so nice, not so great things happening there. Now, there's a nice part, but even getting to the nice part, going to Fisherman's Wharf and Pier 39 on the Embarcadero, it's a pain in the ass with traffic. Parking's expensive. Yeah. I have a love-hate relationship with the San Francisco Bay Area, too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I love it more than hate it. And I think you love it more than hate it, but I get it. Like, the cost is astronomically high in both places. The traffic is ridiculous. There are some not so great areas that aren't safe. And we've also all had our experiences living there, the people we've met, right? The people that surrounded us, etc., right? Thank you, Wickedly. I finally have peace today, so that's what matters. Yeah, Tawny, I'm very sorry. I realize I'm lucky to have that kind of closure with my father. Not many have that. Yeah. Oh, Tia, you're there. Tia, let me know if the stream cuts off. Let me know because I'm going through that bad reception area. Final lap here, folks. Final lap. You know, these are the. This is exactly what the Genuine Networking Association was made for, right? We love connecting people and helping them in any way possible, helping them with their personal development, helping support them emotionally, spiritually, mentally, giving them a safe and relaxing and peaceful way to spend some time. And you know, I will say this to all you ladies that are here right now. This is a memorable show. I've enjoyed this show more than I've enjoyed most others. That's because this is why I do what I do, and this is what inspires me to keep doing what I do. There are some good people in this world. There are good people. You know, you're always going to have some drama freaks in the real world and on social media and even out here on YouTube, but you're also going to have good people. That's why you got to keep going. And to all you ladies tonight, Wicked Lee, Tia, Tawny, and anyone else that's here, I appreciate you. You folks, you ladies make it worth it. I'm really enjoying this conversation, but my daughter just walked in, and I will try to catch you all tomorrow. Thank you for such a nice conversation. You're welcome, Tawny. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Tia says, Tawny, I understand what you're saying. Blood isn't always everything. I have some issues with family, and I know we will never speak again. You know, Tia, respectfully speaking, and hold on, let me switch. To the front camera here and turn on the light. If there's one thing I've learned in life, is to, wow, that was loud. That was a crotch rocket. Crotch rocket. Anyway. Oh. Halloween and Christmas season. Yeah, we're actually about a month and a half away from Christmas. Holy Moses. Wow. Never say never, because I've said never to many things in the past, and then later on down the road, when I least expected it, things turned around. And I know you know that. But I also understand why you're saying probably those relationships will never change, but you never know. You never know. You know, you keep putting out that positivity into the universe, and you just never know how any particular human being is going to feel on any given day. That's what matters. What matters is how we all feel, right? And that's why, you know, I do these shows, because I do whatever I can to keep things positive for myself, my girlfriend, my family, and other people out here. And at other times, it's not easy to do so. You know, at times, you know, You feel the need to stand up for yourself, and you should stand up for yourself at times, but you don't have to do it all the time. But just encouraging positivity, it helps me stay positive, and it's been proven to help other people stay positive. You know? A lot of people think that this type of content is boring content. Yeah, it might not be the funniest content. It's not supposed to be funny. We can crack jokes. We can laugh at times, right? But what I do out here is more like a support group. It's like even the best of us, even people that are in a good place mentally, emotionally, spiritually, etc. Having a support group that you can come to once a day or every so often, it's going to help you stay positive and stay in that good place. I'll get to the chat here in just a second. I'm sorry. See you later, Tawny, says Tia. Wickedly, have a beautiful night, Tawny. Wickedly, sometimes making peace means within yourself, one-sided maybe, but it gives you rest. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I've had to find inner peace regarding many aspects of my life because I'm the type of person that's always tried to address any issues that surround me. But there's always two sides to an issue. You and the other party or parties involved, right? And in order for an issue to be resolved, both sides have to agree to resolve it, or all parties have to agree to resolve it. And some people aren't as reasonable as others. Some people are very unreasonable. And you can't reason with unreasonable people, so at that point, you just got to chalk it up to, hey, it is what it is, and find that level of inner peace to the point of where you understand you've done everything you can to rectify the situation, and other people, at the very least, aren't ready to rectify the situation yet. Tia says, right, we don't know. My family are stubborn and feel they are never wrong. Well, kind of sounds like some people that I've tried to make peace with for years, Tia. And you're right. Some things may never change, or some things may just take longer to come about. In the meantime, or it may be a permanent thing. Just got to let it go and reach that level of inner peace. Just say it is what it is. Let's see. Wickedly, I like boring. At this time in my life, I want peace, not turmoil. I don't blame you, Wickedly. Are you around my age? I'm 50. And you don't have to tell me your exact age, but are you around my age? I'm just curious because the demographic is important to me, not because I'm judgmental, I'm not. It's just that I have a feeling you're a Gen Xer which is why this resonates with you. And I appreciate that. I'm in my late 60s. Holy moly. Okay, so you're a boomer then. Okay, you're a baby boomer. Well, you've definitely learned. Wow, that's awesome. I really appreciate you being honest, and that's really nice, to see the older generation. I say that respectfully. Boomer, LOL. Well, I don't mean it in a negative way, but the millennials call you folks boomers, right? And they call us Gen X. Gen X and millennials, not all, but a good majority of Gen X and millennials have been calling each other out for the longest time. I think it's more on the millennial end of things because they are one of the most unique and different generations that have ever lived. I mean, oh man. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm not. I love everyone, but the most spoiled generation on the planet, and it's a part of that, or the majority of that, is our fault. Gen Xers and baby boomers raising these kids, right? We spoiled the shit out of them. We gave them everything, right? We gave them everything that we didn't have, right? As part of our coping mechanism, a lot of parents that felt they weren't parented as great overparented their millennial kids. And they didn't realize that they were creating a monster. One big entitled monster. Wickedly, I feel the same. I live alone now. My husband passed. Also, I'm learning to enjoy my life without him. I don't think I will ever be the same. I can only try my best. Wickedly, that's fine. I'm a proud boomer. I am too, says Tia to Wicked. That's fantastic. Wicked Lee says at Tia, we just learn to navigate our world differently, but we will never be totally comfortable missing our other half. Yeah. God bless all of you ladies, whether you believe in God or not. God bless all of you. And I hope your husbands are resting in peace. I'll tell you this, as I round the last part, I'm going to be rounding the corner of the last part of this stream here. 3 laps today. We are at 88 minutes, an hour and 28 minutes. I am a proud believer. This is where having an external battery in your pocket and connected helps out. When you do a longer show, your phone still works. I'm surprised that dog hasn't come out today. Maybe he's in playing with the owner. Our dogs, they're actually Don's dogs. I inherited them, but our dogs are inside most of the day. They go out at times. Obviously, they gotta, like Don says, Don calls it pee pee caca. I call it something else, but I'm not gonna say nasty words today. I've been enjoying this show. I'm gonna keep my mouth. I'm gonna keep my mouth clean. And just say, oh, my lady says they go outside to go pee pee caca. I am also that. I'm a proud believer, says Wicked Lee. I am also that has what has helped me through so much. Same here, Tia. Yeah, my father was a God-loving man. I think some of you have already heard this, but in case you haven't, my father actually passed away at the church before an Easter liturgy 14 years ago. My father was the cantor of our Greek Orthodox Church in Belmont, California, here in San Mateo County where we live. He would sing the hymns along with the priest for 45 years. His father, my grandfather, I was named after my dad's dad. My dad's dad was Elias. Now, we don't have Elias II or Elias Jr. in the Greek culture. We just share the same name. If I were to have a son, it would be Dimitri. Dimitri's actually a pretty cool name. That's my middle name, Elias Dimitri Melas. Oh, wow. He has a place besides our father, or beside our father, believe that. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of history about my family. Like, there were so many stories that my grandpa and my aunt more so would tell my brother, myself, and my cousin, her daughter, my aunt's daughter. That's my dad's sister, Auntie Litsa. The one that owns the beauty salon building. She doesn't own the business anymore. She closed down her business, but she bought the building. So she was the business and the building owner. Some people got this wrong online. Now it's called Miranda's. And my aunt still owns the two buildings. The one where the new beauty salon is at, that she's leasing her building out to. And the thing is, my aunt had the equipment in there, so she's leasing the equipment. My aunt's a very smart lady. But yeah, my Aunt Litsa would tell us stories about the family. And when I was younger, I'd get bored. I didn't want to hear it. I wanted to go watch TV and all that, right? But I'll tell you, as I got older. What's your channel, man? Oh, I'm just recording, man. I don't have one. You too. I just, I don't tell people that I'm live. I'm just recording. I tell them I don't have a channel because I don't need weirdos on my channel. I could be recording a documentary for all they know, right? Everybody automatically assumes that you have a channel if you're walking around with a selfie stick. They're not wrong in this case, but like I've just learned to avoid all the crazies, right? Having a really nice show, the last thing I want to do is be disrupted by some guy that's possibly drunk and drinking in the parking lot of the park. Well, your channel, man. He has a place besides our father, believe that. BRB. But yeah, I would. My aunt right now, she's still around. She had surgery recently and she's recovering. But nowadays, I want to hear those stories. I have so much to do. It's not that I don't want to hear them. It's just that I've got so much to do right now, and my focus is helping Dawn continue to get her nutrition back up. We're not going to give any updates. Well, all I'll say is it's all doing well, heading in the right direction, but I'm not going to give any stats or anything. I'm going to hold off on that, but I'll tell you, it's I'm just like I'm amazed. I'm amazed at how strong Dawn is with all the crap that she's dealt with. YouTube, family. I'm not perfect. I love her, but I'm not perfect. You know, sometimes I may say something that I don't think is mean, but it's perceived as mean, and so I'm so proud of how strong she is and how she's fought through all of the BS and the emotional trauma and everything. I'm really proud of her. I'm really proud of her. You folks haven't noticed, I've been very calm lately. And yeah, the previous few streams, I was talking about some weirdos on YouTube, and I'm just I got what I wanted to get. There was a reason why I did that, and people can try to figure out what that reason was, but they won't. There was a specific reason why I did everything I did over the last several days between postings and videos. And let's just say that I got exactly what I wanted. And now it's time to just keep moving forward. Lots of great stuff coming at the GNA. There's a lot of good stuff coming. And yeah, I like keeping it low key. Look, I have energy and I can have my moments and all this and that, but honestly, this is me at my best. This is me relaxed and cool and calm and collected. I'm not saying it's always going to be like that, For the most part, I want it to be like that. We're all going to have our moments at times. But being this cool and calm and collected, you're not wasting energy foolishly. Right now, I need my energy to give to other people that are more important, right? And one of them is Dawn. The other is my mom, my brother, my family, right? My aunt, my cousin, right? Why waste your energy on stupid shit when other people that care about you and you care for, they need you now more than ever for their support? So save your energy. You don't waste your energy on stupid shit, on bullshit. Get to a level of inner peace. And that way you can distribute your energy in more efficient ways. And everything in your life will just fall into place. Once you find inner peace within yourself, you start to love yourself. You start to have more self-respect. You start to notice your self-worth and feel like you're worthy. Once you get to that level, and you do it in a humble way, it needs to be done with humility, right? At that point, you're going to be unstoppable, and you'll eventually accomplish whatever you want to accomplish, whatever your heart desires. I got to get going, folks. We're at 99 minutes, an hour and 39 minutes. Wow, what a long walk. Have a good one. Take care, and as always, please be good to each other. Have a great weekend, everyone.